My wife doesn't like to bake. She doesn't like to weigh things. She doesn't like to set temperatures. She doesn't like to measure. She thinks that preheating an oven is a hoax by the power company to make us use more electricity. She likes to cook. She likes to use her imagination and make stuff up on the fly. So when she came to me with this recipe for whole wheat carrot applesauce muffins and said, Tom, I want to make these. I thought that was wife code for, Tom, I want you to make me these muffins. But it wasn't. She actually made these on her own. And she made them better than the recipe because she brought that whole cooking flair in and added a few ingredients that took it over the top. So we're going to run through how to make these whole wheat carrot applesauce muffins. And along the way, I'm going to show you what she did to make them even better than the people at 100daysofrealfood.com. So let's get started. This recipe is very straightforward, no complicated ingredients. We're gonna put whole wheat flour, salt, ginger, cinnamon, baking soda, and the mystery ingredient my wife added. And we'll put them into this bowl, and whisk them up. And then in this bowl, we'll put the stick of butter, vanilla, egg, and honey, and put it in a clear bowl so we can see it blending, because that's good content for YouTube. And then once that's all combined, we put the flour in. Then we'll add the carrots and the applesauce. We're going to fold these in along with the second secret ingredient. So let's just do all that. We're going to put all the dry ingredients into this bowl, and we're going to start with 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour. But because I was talking trash about weighing things, I'll weigh it out. It's 180 grams. And really, it's easier to pour it in rather than measuring cups, because I don't know, it's just easier. You just put it in until it says 180. And if you put in too much, like I'll probably do, you just scoop it back out. 184, that won't stand. There we go. To this, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and the spice that my wife added to the recipe, ground cloves. And how much, you say? A teaspoon? 1/2 teaspoon? No, some shakes. That was my guidance. Some shakes. So there's some shakes. I hope that was the right amount. Whisk it together, and we'll move on to the wet ingredients. Okay, now to the wet ingredients. An egg. I know I'm cracking it right in the bowl. I know I might put shells in there. It might be a bad egg, but it was the first thing in, so the risk was minimal. A teaspoon of vanilla, because there's always vanilla. A stick of butter, and this butter obviously isn't melted, but it is soft because we're going to blend it up, so make sure that it's soft. And finally, a 1/2 cup of honey. And putting honey into a 1/2 cup and then dumping it out, it's always a mess, right? So I'll tell you a secret. A 1/2 cup of honey weighs 170 grams. So rather than mess up a measuring cup, let's just pour honey in here until it hits 170. And if we goof up and put too much in, then oh well, it'll taste better. And this is taking longer than I thought. If you're wondering how I know so much about how much honey weighs, it's because I asked ChatGPT. Hopefully ChatGPT is not hallucinating. I need another 40 grams of honey, but it's all stuck to the bottom. So I'm going to put it in some warm water until it, becomes more viscous, or less viscous, until it flows better. While we wait for the honey to come around, I'll tell you about the second secret ingredient my wife added. It's not that big of a surprise. It's walnuts. You probably also won't be surprised when I asked her how much she used. Was it a 1/2 cup, a whole cup? She was like, So I'm going to put that many walnuts in. So I'm going to chop these up a little bit and then roast them a little bit in the toaster oven. Into the toaster oven with you. And we'll set this at a low temperature so it doesn't get burned, but we'll use our nose just to make sure they don't get burned. Okay, I'm tired of waiting. Let's get the last bit of honey in here. Hopefully it flows a little better. If it doesn't, well, then we're just going to have less honey because I'm tired of waiting. Success. Ooh, a little for me. Now we blend all this together carefully. slowly add the flour mixture. I'm just good at this. Once you have that all mixed up, it's kind of thick. You add 3/4 cup of carrot and 1 cup of applesauce with the cutest spatula in the world. Fold that over. And Pam's secret ingredient, the walnuts. Fold it all in. Now that it's all combined, I'm going to use a 1/2 cup measure and fill up my silicone muffin tray. And when you see these muffins pop out of this silicone tray, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I got to get one of those. And now we put it in our preheated oven at 350 degrees for about 22 minutes. And I put it on this cookie tray just because it's easier to put in and out. And into the oven for about 22 minutes. And for bonus points, we're going to flip it around at 11. Turn it around halfway through. It's a real thing, contrary to what some spouses might say. Okay, time for the big reveal. Hey-o. Check it out. Give them a test just to make sure. I gotta tell you, they feel a little goopy. I'm gonna cook them for 2 more minutes. Here we go. It's been 24 minutes, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna call it. Let's try out the tester. I mean, it comes back clean. It just feels jiggly. But 24 minutes, so let's just let them cool off and see if once they cool off, if they'll firm up a little bit. Look how easy it is to remove these from the silicone tray. That's awesome, right? Okay, so that's it. You saw how easy it was to make these delicious carrot and applesauce muffins. Give them a try and let me know in the comments if you liked them or not. And let me know if you want to take the next step and put raisins in them. I mean, get really crazy. Thanks for watching. See you next time.